Good morning, it's Kim McGillis coming you live from Regina in Saskatchewan. It is presently 11:05 and if you're watching from back home in Ontario, you would have lunchtime right now, noon. So how are you? How's the week going? I feel like it's flying by so fast. So I did go and I was successful yesterday. I did my 10,000 steps this morning. I went back. It's beautiful and sunny and I feel like it has that spring vibe this morning because I was hearing the chickadee while I took my walk with Riley, which is kind of exciting. I know it's only January, but it's -5 degrees, which is out of the ordinary, and I love it and I'm taking advantage of it. So got my 5,000 steps in, and until later this afternoon, I'll go tackle that next 5,000 steps. So I am trying to keep consistency. How have you loved the Friendly Seagulls collection that I've been creating with? I do have another fun fold different today. Slightly different, also little tips for you. I've tried different things and I can't wait to share. So we are Thursday. I've shared 4 cards so far with the collection. I'd love to know what is your favorite. If you're catching me by replay, please say replay. I would love to know where you're from. I would also love to know how long have you been paper crafting. So I have to say that I've been crafting for like 20 years and I joined Stampin' Up 2 years after starting to craft, and the reason why is the person that introduced me to paper crafting didn't want me to sign up under her. She wanted to keep me as a customer, which I find it was super horrible. I guess I could have shopped around, but in those days I just had a baby. I didn't know that I could go and look around for a different demonstrator and so on. So I've always crafted with only Stampin' Up products, and the reason why is because I love that everything coordinates. I don't need to think too much. So those are the main reasons. Somebody messaged me yesterday about the starter kit. I'm going to tell you something. It is a great opportunity. If you're planning on spending more than $135 Canadian, then I suggest that you get the starter kit. There's so many opportunities. We get to shop from the pre-order collection ahead of time. We also are part of a demonstrator group. We get to attend events that are virtual or in person. We get an amazing discount. So many great perks. So if you have questions, perfectly, like email me. That's a great opportunity. And when we have a large wish list, sometimes the starter kit is a better option as well. So if ever, is an amazing deal. There's no shipping fees in different provinces. There's no tax, that's so on. So I am going to put the screen down, and if ever you have more questions, please don't hesitate, but the starter kit is the way to go. You don't need to do lives like me. It's just if you have a very large wish list, this is something that you might want to do. So I'm just going to go here, turn on our camera. Hi, Paul. Paul, I believe, is talking about the weather back home where he is in Utah, one of my favorite places to travel to. And I must say, I was thinking about it. I think we do have a big wish list of travels for my husband and I. We're thinking that we're going to travel this year. We've been to Banff and Canmore in Alberta. We do want to go back, and a lot of our friends want to come there as well. We also would love to go to Montana, which would be great to travel to Montana. We want to go maybe like on a driving trip so then we could bring our dog. So Paul's saying that the weather is cold here in Utah. Are your temp measures in Celsius or Fahrenheit? So I think we're Fahrenheit, right? I almost have to look at it just to remember the difference between you and I. So Canadians choose, I think it's Fahrenheit. I'd have to think about that. I always say the weather, but I don't. Anyways, very cool. If you look up -30, if somebody knows in Canada, are we doing weather in Celsius or Fahrenheit? I feel like it's Fahrenheit. Anyways, Lucy's on. Lucy's Canadian. Do we do weather here in Canada in Celsius or Fahrenheit? I'm having a blank this morning. I just say the weather, but -5 here. Anyways. So I am still working with the Friendly Seagulls collection, which is part of Celebration, and love this collection of cards that I started building, and I do have an additional one to share with you today. Now you see that the color theme is a bit different is because I had a color challenge at the beginning of the week, which used Blueberry Bushel, Balmy Blue, and some Smoke Slate. Then I went on and it did add some yellow, Daffodil Delight, but that was a lot later. And then one of my favorite color combos, which used the bouquet paper that is part of the January-April catalog. I embellished with Balmy Blue and then Smoky Slate, and then we did this cutie. So that was another one. And then I believe Tuesday, I was a bit indecisive of how I wanted to finish our cards. So we went with this one, which is like a Velcro, and it opens simply. You could add money on the inside. You could also embellish the inside. This one has no fussy cutting involved. I do love the straight line of birds, and I do plan on using this straight line for something else a little later on. And then I went with that little belly band, and actually I do have a belly band card, a little different again today, which I'm going to be sharing with you. But it slides off and then it opens, and then I used the Country Woods designer series paper from our annual catalog, because I feel sometimes we tend to forget about the annual catalog, but it has a lot of great perks. So go back to the annual catalog and look at what it has. Lucy's saying Celsius, Annette is saying Celsius. Thank you, ladies. So Celsius, I guess. I don't know why I was saying Fahrenheit. Okay, so that one is another one. And then yesterday we went with this one. I showed you two sides, and I did forget to share that I put the Country Wood paper on horizontal, and then when we did it together, I did vertical. And I have to say, I think I prefer the vertical look of the designer series paper. I shared how I stamped on the paper to do his wings, and then I did switch up, and you will see this on my blog today, and it will be uploaded as well. I stamped the Hey Friend on our tag right here, and this is stamped in early espresso, which I found that was a bit different, and I kind of like it that it's just popping out right there. If you're hearing some crying in the background, that's Riley dreaming, so I'm so sorry about that. I'm not sure if you could hear it or not, but so that was yesterday's card. I don't know if you prefer number 1 right here, I would love to know, or number 2. I'd love to know. So now we're moving on to card number 4, I believe. And I am going to continue with Celebration next week. If you have some suggestions of what you would like me to work on, I would love to know. I haven't designed anything yet. I'm not too sure what I'm going to choose. And also, I don't know if I have everything in here. I do have some parts of it. I'm not too sure. I'll have to look. This is kind of cute. So many choices. Lots of beautiful designer series paper. We've already done the heart shapes, so I'm not going to be doing that one. But I think I don't have them all yet. Big wish list, but I feel like I want to pick something different for next week. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. If I have it, then I might create with it, but I'm not too sure if I do, so I don't have everything yet. Next Friday, I am planning on flying to Ontario. There's a couple of card classes, so if ever you still have time to sign up, some are getting full, that's for sure. Paul is saying fruit salad DSP. I'll look if I have it. I'm not too sure if I do, but if I do, maybe I could do something with that collection. So here today, we're using a piece of cardstock that is 4 1/4 by 11. I am going to score it with my brand new paper trimmer. And we are going to score it at 5 1/2. So we're going to do that. 5 1/2 right here. For my Ontario friends, this will be an opportunity for you to shop as well from my collection that is part of my BOGO sale, so that's going to be fun too. So, okay, so here we are. It's aligned at the 5 1/2 mark. I do have slightly a little difference. So So just gonna give it a more of a crisp look. Paul and I love to go to Costco, and I have to say, I have to do a Costco run, and I was supposed to go yesterday. I avoided it. So maybe today will be the day. We'll see. Okay. Now we're gonna open it just like this, and I'm gonna use my circle punch. It's a 2-inch circle punch, and I'm just gonna go in here and punch not a half of it, but not the half mark, just a little bit lower, because I don't want a full half circle. And this is the way that it's gonna go. So yesterday's card folded twice. This time we're only folding once, okay? I'm still gonna open it up, and I'm gonna use, which one? I think we're gonna use, you know what? Let's do something different. I'm gonna use one of the different birds than the card that I've already designed. So I'm gonna go with this one right here. And I have something to share with you later, but I am going to go with this one. So now I'm just going to go ahead and let me push it higher. I don't know why there's a dimensional on my stamp. I'm going to use a different one here. Okay, Versamark. Versamark. I like to use Versamark for a tone-on-tone look when I don't want it to show too much. So this is what I'm doing, and I'm going with a very upwards hill type of stamping, and I'm just adding piles of little birds. So I don't know if you get to see the Versamark. If ever, please let me know. So Lucy's saying, I love Costco. The closest is 3.5 hour drive. Oh my goodness. Only option is online, which is just not the same. So if you're doing online, I'm assuming, Lucy, you're limited on what you could get at Costco. So, oh yeah, I think you could see it slightly. So that's very subtle. Very subtle look. Now I'm taking my Country Woods paper. If you want to switch the design, you could use any design that you want. So, and it's gonna layer right here. This is a piece that is 2 inches by 4.25. I had piles of leftover pieces. The opposite side of this designer series paper is this one. Half an inch you have enough by 4.25. And this is gonna tuck right here. And then I'm doing the same thing, 1/2 inch, which is gonna tuck underneath right there. And I had leftover. Remember when we used the Round We Go dies? I'm using every single piece of leftover this morning. You'll see an alternate version later, but this is the Round We Go dies. And when we cut, we use this part, but I had piles of leftover of the picky side. So we're gonna use the picky side today. And this one is just 4.25. And I'm gonna add a slight bead of glue. Give me a second. Bonjour, Nathalie. You know what, Natalie? Once I'm done my live, we should hook up and chat, because I think you have questions for me. And I was out on a date with my hubby before he left, so we need to catch up. Okay, so here we go. Actually, if you are in the warmer weather, I feel like the Friendly Seagull is a great option for you. Somebody, one of my followers, commented yesterday about how this stamp set is so perfect to do scrapbooking, and I am so interested in doing like a mini scrapbook or a large page and using it for when we go to the beach. So that would be a very cute one. So here I am just adding my layers one on top of the other. I do wish that my little lines at the bottom would align, so you could do that once you're cutting it. It didn't for that because my purpose when I did do my cutting, it was only for the sake that I wanted the scallop side. So if you're particular, that could be an option. So now we're just gonna use adhesive. Do not pop this up. Do not use dimensionals and so on, because remember, I'm saying we're creating a belly band today. So now you see the little birds, they're just like behind, very subtle, just along the way, going up. I'm gonna use a second piece of Country Wood Designer Series paper. This one is 2x9, and I do like to go just on the opposite side. I'm not scoring ahead. And you'll see that I'm shorter on this side than I am on this side. And I'm gonna show you why. So just gonna go right here, try to align it with this one. And now we're gonna create that fold right here and that fold on the opposite side. The reason I'm creating that fold on the right side is because I'm going to be embellishing on that side and it's not going to show. And then if I want to remove my belly band, then on the opposite side, it's perfect. There's no marks or anything. It just slides off. So this is how it would go. So for that part, I just take tear and tape. I just feel that once we slide it off, you want to have something underneath. So that's why I did it. If you don't want that, if you don't want to slide it off, then you don't need to do that first step, which was adding that DSP. But I just want to go embellish overload with that Designer Series paper because I love it so much. If you're catching me for the first time this week, I just shared yesterday that this is going to be a card class that you'll have images, instructions, videos that do not have interruption, and that you can earn for free when you shop with me for $75 this week until Sunday. So that's an option for you if ever you're interested. And if you are not shopping for me, then you'll have the opportunity to purchase this. If you're part of my team, you do not need to shop at all because I will be posting it and sending it in my group. Okay, so now we're gonna use the Stylish Circle dies, and this is number 2, like from when you go from the smallest to the biggest. And I'm gonna cut that. Then I'm gonna use my floral textured die, I believe it's called. I'm still gonna use these and we're gonna embellish. If you don't wanna embellish, you don't need to add these pieces. Just using some basic white. I am gonna do 2 layers. So 1. Circle right there. And then I love a shabby chic vintage look. If you don't use it, you could just go ahead, add your circle there. If you want to add the branches, you may. I'm adding 2. I'm putting one shorter and the other one longer. I just want it to blend with my entire card collection from this week, but you don't need to do that step. So let me know if you like that little detail or if you prefer simple. Both are great options. I love both. So I'm just going to add that second one as well. One could be underneath, one could be on top, either or you could tuck them both underneath. One can be shorter, one longer. This circle is gonna go right on top here. I'm gonna add them. That's for sure. Now I wanna show you a difference of 2 things. I've done these ahead of time and I want to see how it looks in the camera. So what's the difference between those two birds? Do you know? What did I do differently? Not sure if you could see what the difference is. So this one was Tuxedo Black ink, which we've used all week long. And this one, I've embossed with the Wow Black embossing powder. So I do use two different trays. Stampin' Up has these beautiful trays. It comes with a little brush that you could use. It comes also, I always try to use this little pillow to remove static. It also, if ever you don't want to burn your fingers, it comes with this little piece that you could just, I love to use these tweezers. And then this is the brush that you can undo. So I keep two trays. One tray is for my dark colors, and then my other tray is for my whites and my clear powder. I don't know if that's what you do, but I prefer to do so. So this one, what I did is I just stamped into Versamark on just regular white paper. Give me a second. Just gonna do, where's my little pillow? Removing static. So Versamark, some people don't know just the basic about embossing, heat embossing. And then I just added it here. So you see the difference. One is a lot darker than the other. So while I try this one, let me know which one you prefer, the dark version, the non-dark version. I feel like I would need an assistant while I'm doing this and showing you live, that somebody in the background is like heat embossing or warming up my heater. That would be so good. So I don't know if you have a preference. And then let's use the Tuxedo Black ink on the side. And then this is the difference. Now, I have to say, what I do love is if ever I want to add some color, and we'll be using light smoky slate, you can color beautifully, because the one that I did emboss in black has that nice rib feel where it elevates and it makes it stand out. So now I'm just adding slight color in there to make this little wing. I'm gonna use my light daffodil, and then we're just gonna color the beak and his little feet. So any preference? Do you emboss, heat emboss once in a while? I would love to know. I'm gonna be pulling my smoky slate, and one of my blender pens this morning. Yesterday I did the watercolor pencils. Today I'm just going back to that, and I'm just gonna loop around his little wing. And he might have a little bit more color than the others. He's old. And then this one, we could just color in slightly without the blender pens. So lots of different options this week. I showed you with the pencils yesterday. I showed you using our blender pens. I've showed you with the blends. I don't know if you've tried. There's so many different ways that you could do. and a stamp on there. We're going to use Balmy Blue as well. And I'm going to go with my blending brush. And we're just going to create that sky background. Perfect. Gonna go one more time with our smoky slate and pen to add maybe a little bit of dust at the bottom. You could also use one of them that's part of that brush. So who has ordered this beautiful stamp set that comes for free with a $75 order? I would love to know. Or is it part of something that you might want to order? As I'm aging and getting older, I feel like I'm into critters. I love these little characters. They're so fun. So, not gonna use these scissors because these are my ribbon scissors and I don't want to cut with them. So, I'm gonna put the tray on the side. Now, if you don't want a fussy cut, your option, remember, you could just stamp directly on that circle. Paul is saying, I think they're awesome. I think they're awesome too. So many things we could put in this little bird's mouth. What's the movie where there was seagulls in the movie? It's like, I almost want to say, mine, 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 mine. I could just write it with my Stampin' Right markers. That's the thing that every single time that I design with this Friendly Seagulls, I just think mine, 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 mine. Was it? I can't remember which movie it was part of. So here he's gonna stand right on top right there. And pop on the circle right here. Now let's pull this one back. I'm going to use mini glue dots. And going to go very low with this first one. And I'm doing this on purpose. I don't want them glued. The foliage to be glued fully. I want some of it to be flowy. And then the other one, I'm just gonna go a little higher up here. So the flow is exactly this. Now we're gonna go with the other one right here. Make sure you're not putting any dimensionals on the top part, because this is just gonna go there. So it's just gonna show you one part right here. So this goes like that, and then I'm still embellish, and then it opens like this. Now, could you add treats in there? Absolutely. Today I'm gonna be making a card, but you could also add treats, like something very fine, or if ever, you could just do your belly band looser if you want to do something a little bit bigger. So here's my other piece. This is a 4" by 5 1/4, and it is going to tuck right in here. And now we're going to pull this part out. And then, like I said, you could slide off that belly band as well. If you want to avoid the second step underneath, you might do so because you don't want the belly band to slide off. But I just thought it would be fun. I'm gonna be using white ribbon today. So the ribbon is called Woven Ribbon, and it's it's beautiful and white. If you want to go and color the ribbon, you may do so. So here it is. If I wanted to color it, I could just use one of my blends. And let's do a test just to see. So this one is a light smoky slate. And then I can just color it. I do love that ribbon because it has a beautiful little detail. It almost looks like fabric. So a must to get on your list, because when there's white ribbon like this, you could color it any color, any of the Stampin' Up colors. So that's one of my perks when I see that Stampin' Up comes out with white ribbon. I need to get lots and lots. The fact that I'm using, you could also use your Stampin' Right marker, but I prefer using the blends, and I'm going to share the reason why, is because they're alcohol based and they are faster to dry. So that's one of the reasons. Take a little piece of twine out. So my other card is a little bit different. And we're just going to tuck this in here. And I'm going to be cheating a little. You'll see what I'm going to do. So I'm going to tie this because I want a beautiful knot. And it could be a little shorter too. I could just shorten it up. So you don't need a lot of twine, just a little bit. I'm going to tie this with a knot. Now, if you want, you could just do a bow, regular bow like you're tying your shoelace. And if you don't want to do it like that, I'm going to show you an alternate version. So here I am, going to snip this little end like very short. Going to do the opposite side as well, very short. I love it in the smoke slate. It's cute. Okay, so here we are. Look at this. It's starting to look great. So now I'm going to take a second piece. I always love to make these double loops. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to leave a little bit of loose here. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my gosh, I didn't leave myself a lot of loose. I thought I did, but it's not that much. Here we go. We're going to tuck in here. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Wait a second. Let me do this again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Loop around. Tuck right in here. And then make the largest, strongest knot imaginable. So now let's grab a mini glue dot. And I'm just gonna go right on top like this. Perfect. I've already gone ahead and embossed the Hey Friend. I could also do the I love you more, but this one could go right here, or I even have another one right there. And let me grab the purple sequins again. I'll need another pack. They are free with Celebration, so you might want to get these. So I like to use the white. It does have that purplish look. So it is part of the Celebration catalog and free with a $75 order. So this is going to go right here. I lost one right here. Here we go. So the stamp set has piles of different little things, critters. There's fish, there's seashells, there's the fries. So you could add anything that you want to make it look great. Could have also added another one or a little bird at the bottom. I'm going to show you my finished card on the opposite here. So this one is I love you more than French fries. I did cut the I love you more than and added it there. Added some little French fries on the side. So, and then I didn't color the ribbon. So you see the difference between both. When you pull it out, now I'll add one of the little birds on the inside. We're just gonna pop that bird up. I use a leftover Country Woods paper, and I'm gonna add this little bird on the inside. So you see the difference with the colored ribbon, the non-colored ribbon, bunch of greetings. You could use whichever ones you want. And I'm gonna bring back yesterday's card versus today, just to show you the difference. So this tucks in here. So I hope you love this little new fun fold. Very different with a sliding belly band. And then here we go with yesterday's. So a little bit different, kind of fun that they do have a difference. There's also this one with the greeting on the top. So this one slides like this, and I just love both of them. Hi, Bev. Hope you're well. Today I have another different card that I'm sharing with the friendly birds, and here they are, a very different belly band that tucks in and out like this, but that is still embellished, that you have the bird on the inside. You could pull this up. You could add chocolates, little treats as well if you wanted to. So both are great options. So two different folds, very similar, but kind of fun, right? So enjoy your day. I hope you love these. And then we have all our others right here. If ever you're doing one of these cards, I would love for you to tag me. I would love to see yours. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.